Coach Patsos, as always, joins us here on Big Board Sports. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Roger. How are you?
I'm good, Coach. How are you? Happy holidays, my man.
You too, brother. How's everything?
You know, we're all right. We're hanging in there, as they say. I'm so upset over Penn State not getting to the Final Four. Haven't been able to get past that yet. So to be honest, I'm sitting here on a Wednesday, and Coach, people are running to just say to me, "Will you quit whining about Penn State?" But I can't. I can't let it go.
It's quite clear. It's funny because I talked to my squad the other day. Like, people don't want to deal in reality, and the reality is nobody with 2 losses is going, right? Is that the deal, Roger? In 3 years, if you have 2 losses, you're not going.
Pretty much, that is the deal.
Is that the deal?
That is the deal. That is the deal.
And it's funny how the math worked out, because what a comeback against Wisconsin. But you got it, Roger. USC in the Rose Bowl clearly is probably the best bowl besides the Big Four, right?
Yeah, and Coach Patsos, my son Matt, lives in San Francisco, calls me up over the weekend. Jimmy, he goes, "Dad, I got an early present for you. I have 2 tickets. They're good seats to the Rose Bowl, and I'm going to buy yours. I need you to get out of here." What do you think of that?
What a nice guy. Look, you got to go. Look, like I said, if there's any bowl you want to go to, not only because of the weather in L.A. and all that, but that's the high-quality game. Roger, are they going to keep having bowls? It's like, it's funny. My generational young guys, they don't even care anymore like we did, because they just want to know who's in the Final Four.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I think that's where, and you brought that up, Zach, I think that's where this thing is heading.
Yeah, like if you're a 17-year-old kid, Rose Bowl, you're like, you haven't grown up with that culture.
Right. And so, no, we're looking at the Parade of Roses, and we're watching, Michigan go play USC back in the day. God, I mean, I remember, we're going back now, but USC, I mean, I'm not going back to the OJ days, but I'm going back to the other running back, Marcus Allen and all them, and John Robinson. So these guys, they have no clue. So, I mean, I guess they expanded to 8 and then say everybody else go have a nice day, because the young kids aren't going to watch.
Time with Jimmy Patsos.
Great year for Penn State.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you would have asked me, hey, they're going to the Rose Bowl and they're going to win 9 straight, I said, you're crazy. But it turned out to be a phenomenal year. Good job by at the end of the day. They were ready to run Franklin out the first couple 3 weeks of the season. He couldn't coach, and now all of a sudden they love him. Hey, let's start with your team. What is the mood of your team right now as you get set for a road trip to Florida Gulf Coast?
We're better today than we were yesterday. It's fine. We got to work on some things. We're just not closing out little games, and I feel like I can make a lot of excuses in road games and tough schedule, and I'm down with all that to a degree to protect the players. But they should have beat Ryder. We had a chance to win that game. We were up 6 and just couldn't make a couple of plays, a couple of basic turnovers. I'm just, it's fine, but it's not great. It's not great, Roger, because, I wouldn't lie to you, and I'm not going to lie to the fans. We're just, you miss a couple threes. Okay, well, the guy's wide open down low. Throw it to him. Well, I thought I was going to hit my next one. And I'm not just talking about Nico and Marquise, just different guys missing threes. But, we go into the timeout with 3 minutes left, and everything's right. I said, hey, we're up 2 on the road. Let's go down and convert. Let's get a stop. Well, we missed a layup. We missed a free throw. The free throw things were, I don't know, Roger, because we're missing more free. The more we work on it, the more we miss. But I really, have a great amount of respect for Marquise Wright. He's done a lot for the program. But at the end of the day, at GW, he missed clutch free throws. At St. Bonaventure, he missed clutch free throws. And at Ryder, he missed clutch free throws. My point guard and leader has had the ball in his hands at the free throw line 3 giant games on the road and missed. And he's not trying to miss. He works hard. He's a good kid. He does everything he can to help us win games. But in other words, Roger, what do? You go yell at we're not yelling and screaming. I don't even do that. It's funny because the paper shows my old pictures of me yelling and screaming. We were really positive. We were excited on the bench. But kids get disappointed. Him and Nico had their heads hanging a little bit there at the end because they kept missing shots. And then we come down and Marquise makes an unbelievable pass to Nico for a wide open 3. It didn't go in. Yeah. Right in front of the bench. We were all ready to celebrate. It was a Kodak moment. It was a Gatorade moment, and it missed. And I don't want the players to feel that good about that. In other words, I can give some moral victories, but we should have made that shot, but he didn't. Nico didn't try to. It's okay. He made him against Fairfield. But on the other hand, Roger, and I appreciate you always have my back, at some point the players got to make some plays. And sometimes the players got to just stop. Okay, we're on the road. Big deal. Go down and get a win on the road, But we had like a lead, and we did a lot of good things, like you said. Otherwise, shooting that poorly, we wouldn't be in the game.
Right.
Brett Bisping was on 15 rebounds. He took 5 charges.
Wow.
5, Roger. Okay, and Zach, you played 5. Javion has been my most steady guy. Levon was really good. And, I mean, he didn't start, but he played 32 minutes. So, I don't want that to be the reason. But I did talk about that. Why can't you just be a couple minutes early? We're trying to, do everything right on the line instead of giving a little extra. Like, hey, you missed a couple shots. Throw it inside. Hey, you're not shooting the ball well. Play extra hard defense. We're all looking around, seeing if the other guy's going to do it. I want everyone to start doing it because you're not going to win, and Zach knows this, because you're not going to win at the mid-major level unless everybody's grinding.
Jimmy, I read Single Ace in the TU, and you were talking to him about maybe how some of what's been going on off the court is affected on. Is that where you stand on that?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, look, like Levon's thing, and I don't want it that, and I don't mean this one. Levon's suspension was from something that happened in school last year. Like I said, it was kind of a let's just move on from it. And then Nico's thing was something that didn't really happen here. It's not really happening here, but it's happening over on the other side of campus. And I've always said this: boys will be boys. Sometimes I don't want these guys aren't bad kids. Levon's as likable a kid as you can get. Nico got a lot of personality, and it's. However, I don't know. Is it helping? We both know that answer, Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Look, you're an executive that runs a radio show and a TV show and a lot of. Right. By the way, I love your little column. I look forward to your little.
my
take.
I can't wait till it says "Fire Patsos."
my little 50 words that they give me.
Look, it is, but it's kind of But look, in this day and age, that's like a novel. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
In other words, if somebody's constantly doing a little bit, okay, they go get you the great scoop. They go do a great job. But like if Zach was constantly a little late, or he just forgot to run an ad, or he didn't tell us how great Jeff Sperber and Huck Finns are, maybe it's all connected. And I'm like, just cut it out and let's see how good we can be. And I mean that in other words, I don't want to discipline anybody anymore. I'm tired of that. In other words, we need the players we have, because Sammy Friday's been hurt. Willem Brandewick's been hurt. Nico Clares had knee surgery. Kadeem Smitten had knee surgery, and then he had a hurt shoulder. We don't have enough guys to just run out there. And I think, Zach, you and I have had these discussions. Just, hey, Cremo's as great a good guy as you're going to get, according to what I read in the paper and from what I know. I like the kid. I talked to him after the game, and he missed a free throw. So maybe it's not all connected. But on the other hand, we've missed free throws in 3 games. We've missed a wide-open shot. We didn't get a defensive assignment at St. Bonaventure against a guy that had 28 points. Jalen Adams, their best player. We're all screaming 22, which is our version of double team. And Zach, numbers game's easy to play. 44 is double the post. 22 is double the ball screen. The whole bench is yelling 22. The guy comes out of our double, goes and lays it in, and Javion fouls him instead of letting him go and fouls out of the game. I looked at him, and I'm like, are you guys crazy? Not only do we not double team, we just fouled the guy. He made an and one. I wish you knocked him on his butt. Help him up. And you fouled out of the game. And I looked at him and said, man, I'm trying. What do you want me to do? And they don't, in other words, Roger, they're not sitting there saying, hey, coach, you don't know what you're doing. We're all fine, and we're not panicking. But the losses are starting to add up, and I'm like, we either have to really, 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 really all get on the page, or stop getting distracted. That's my point about that. It's the distractions.
I will say I watched the Bonnie game. How did I'm not making excuses here, but how did the official not hear or see you calling a timeout when you wanted to get one before they went down and made the N1 that you were just talking about? How did you not get the timeout there?
That's the thing. We've checked the tape. I mean, I didn't think the referees have been great. I mean, I think the referees have been very good this year. They're not costing us games. Sure, I'd like a break here or there. Sure, I wouldn't like my guys getting in foul trouble. But on the other hand, Roger, stop fouling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At some point, stop fouling. Stop. If you get a speeding ticket every day in Manans going to work, stop speeding. You can't run the stop sign every day and be like, oh, he caught me.
Hey, Jimmy.
I didn't know how I didn't get the timeout. I thought we had it. we still knew the numbers. In other words, we still knew everyone on the bench. My bench has been great. Jimmy Tennis, Jimmy Merrill, who's a local kid, and our walk-ons and managers. And we were all screaming, 22, make them give it up. I guess we just didn't want to do it that bad to make them give it up, and that's a little disappointing.
Jimmy, we didn't get to talk to you last week, but last week you did register win number 200. The one thing that you and I have always agreed on is how hard it is to win and win consistently at this level, at the mid-major level. Did you let yourself just take a step back and appreciate the 200 wins? Because that's quite a mile mark.
No, it's funny. I will later. That's something you'll do down the road. Look, I got a lot of texts were pretty funny, We didn't even, hitting 50 or winning 200 games, we didn't think you'd get either. You made most, so you don't choose. But I mean, I was just happy we were 1-0. I was happy for the players. And that's, quite frankly, what's a little disappointing about the Ryder loss is not that we love. I've told you this before. Every win's good, then there's good wins. I mean, good losses and bad losses. I'm not going to sugarcoat the Ryder. Ryder played tough. They hit a couple threes. They're really athletic. Ryder starts 4 seniors and a freshman. But on the other hand, we should have won that game. And I just wanted the players to get the win against Fairfield, which we did. I was really happy for that. Then I wanted to go 2-0 and then sit here for a month and try to prepare for the January-February slate, which you guys are getting ready to hit. You guys are getting ready in the American East to hit the February slate. We just have a little early version of it. But did the players value going 2-0 enough? I think some of them did. I tell you, Javion and Brett have been great. Vaughn was really good. Marquise and Nico Claret are really prolific scorers, and they're exciting players. But you got to put a value on winning. And I can't just yank them out. They're not bad people. They don't do it on purpose, but they just weren't making shots. And then there was a couple of blown assignments. But I would have gave the ball to Brett Bisping and Javion Ogunyemi every time down the court the last 3 minutes because they were just Javion Ogunyemi, for those listening, has just really improved. And now what's funny, Zach, is he's just leveled off. And I mean that in a good way. I don't want to say that in a bad way. He's leveled off into just a consistent, good scorer, good rebounder, block shots. But he really knows the scouting report. He'll text me during a game. For those out there, whoever helped Javion, and I know there's a lot of people, including Coach Hurley, he's really grown up into this. He's my most consistent player and my most reliable player. And I'm really proud of how he's doing. And I'm like, just give him the damn ball every time and see what happens. And that's me. That's on me as a coach.
What's the scout on the next opponent, Florida Gulf Coast?
Florida Gulf Coast. And here's another good one. Look, Florida Gulf Coast. They took Michigan State. They lost by 1. They're like 4-3. They've beaten all the teams at their level. They're Dunk City. Joe Dooley was the assistant at Kansas. It's a really good game. Next year they will come back to our arena. How about next year's slate? I don't want to get ahead. Next year we will have Hofstra, St. Bonaventure, Florida Gulf Coast, and Albany in our arena. That's how the mid-major scheduling goes. Unfortunately, all those games were on the road this year, and that's something we've done because I think Florida Gulf Coast and Joe Dooley and Dunk City and all that is a good quality opponent to bring in here. There's also, as you know, Roger, a lot of Florida alum, Siena alum down there. We have like 100 people going. The bad news is that they're really good. They went to the NCAA last year. That's the bottom line is they went to the NCAA last year. So we're going to have to play our game and got to keep getting better. And we're not hanging our heads, but we are taking a little bit of inventory. Can we do couple little things better? And it's time to win a few games on the road. Like, you can't just be like, oh, it's a road game. It's tough. Like, I fully thought we were prepared to win the game against Ryder. We did a lot of things good at Ryder. We're up 6 with 6 minutes to go. The timeout's great. I said, you're doing great. We're right there. Let's just close this thing out. And we didn't. And there could be some changes being made. Some minutes are going to be moved around. I'll just tell you that right now.
One more from me, Coach. How about Ashante Shivers? I've been somewhat impressed in the small sample size with him. Is he a guy that could see more minutes?
Sure. He's a mid-major guy that can do a lot of little dirty work. I like Sati Shivers. Willem Brandowicz coming back. He was injured. Sammy Friday and Willem couldn't play. They're big guys at Ryder, scored a lot on us. Javion and Brett can't do it all. So Santi Shivers was starting for us. We played a good game. He was late, You know, it's funny. I want to go over the 7-minute late thing. It doesn't sound like a lot to people, but you two have been on millions of buses. And when you're sitting there and supposed to leave, and
Yep.
you both know how long 7 minutes is when you're all sitting on the bus.
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
we said that. Jimmy, we said that before you came on, and I came and said, for those who think 7 minutes isn't a long time, I said it feels like 15 or 20 because every second feels like 2. You're waiting to pull out. Everyone's focused. And outside of the coach being a couple minutes late, you just can't wait that long. I mean, I totally hear you out.
That. I wanted to talk about that because you two know as you're sitting there, you're going like, we got a game, and okay, I'm not going to let it go. And 9:46, okay, maybe I don't want to upset the team. And 7 minutes, as you both know, is an eternity, right? When you're doing that.
There's no doubt, Jimmy. There's no doubt.
Will Brown has left me for being 1 minute early just because everyone was there. It was still a minute or two before we were supposed to leave. That bus, I saw that bus peeling away. I hopped in a cab and said, follow that bus.
See, that's what I mean. And so anyways, but there's a lot of basketball to be played, and it's about the MAC, and we're 1-1. I wanted to be 2-0, but I'm glad we're not 0-2. And that's kind of the state of this program right now is, are we going to settle for the middle road, or do we want to excel to the next road? And you're going to have to take Brett Bisping and Javion are really going to lead by example, not only on the court and off the court. I need the others to get in line. I will close with this. One of the first texts I got when I won 200 games was from Will Brown saying, congratulations.
It's all good.
There you go. All good. All good, Jimmy. Hey, listen, we'll talk to you next week. Have a really good road trip to Florida Gulf Coast. And,
next week I think I'm on the road, and then after that we're in town all the time. Me and you will work everything out, Roger, because I like coming in.
Yeah, we really enjoy having you on the program, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Go Hawks fans. Is Sperber helping us out? This guy's been great.
He's a man. We love Huck Finn's humongous warehouse. No doubt about that.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Coach. All right, that's Jimmy Patsos with us every Wednesday.